everyone, I'm Hilary Chin. Thank you all so much for coming and watching my YouTube channel. Please do well to go below. You click that first link. That is the link that takes you to our WhatsApp group where we share monthly and weekly videos that we create. Okay, but today I want to show you how to do calculated fields using Tableau. Tableau is a visualization tool that is used by companies and organizations to visualize their data, especially when they get the insight of that data. They use different charts, pie chart, bar chart, column chart, etc. Okay, and amazingly today I want to show you how to go through Tableau in such a way that before you create charts, there is something that you have to do. Sometimes you have to maybe try to find out total costs, total sales, total profit from a specific data. And sometimes those of you who work in a humanitarian setting, you want to find out total boys, total girls, total persons reached, total IDPs, etc. It's just the same concept. The only difference is that we are going to be using data from the business industry, pure business industry. But of course, this is just a fictional data, okay? And please do remember to share and like. Let's get in there. Let me show you what I mean.
So this is Tableau. Tableau is used to visualize data using charts, graphs, okay? And it is a very, very amazing tool. It has been in the market before you got Power BI, and Tableau is so exciting to use. Please don't be overwhelmed. Just follow me carefully as we learn how to do calculation fields in Tableau. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So right here, I'm in my Tableau here, and if I go to this small option here, I can click. It brings me up to this other space that we are going to be working in. But once we are here, I came here because I want to show you three things here, okay? We have the data source. When we bring our data, we'll find it here, and then here we have sheets, okay? And here also we have the new worksheet that we can increase, and here we have the new dashboards, and then here also we have the new story, okay? So in Tableau we can analyze visuals through dashboards. From those dashboards we can now come up with a storyline, okay? Storyline here is just showing you the trends of data, what is happening per month, what is happening per year, and comparing two visuals like years. Last year we had these sales, this year we had these sales. So just doing those comparisons, just being creative there and making it look beautiful, especially women. I really recommend this for women. They know how to match colors, you know. And in that set, we'll just go really quick, go back to this small icon here and we click, or we can still click there and we come to this connect to data under here, okay? And then we go now to, but before we choose here, we have different options of bringing our files in. We can use Google Drive, etc. But we are going to be bringing our file from Microsoft Excel. And before we do that, let's go there and see how it looks. So right here, we just want to come up with the total cost and the total sales, which is going to be quantity times quantity times cost to give us total cost, and quantity times sales to give us total sales, and total sales minus total cost to give us profit. These are just basic calculations. If you have to deal with data and you have to be a data scientist or data analyst, you must have a basic knowledge of mathematics, okay, or arithmetic. I am not a mathematician, but I have no choice but to just have these basics. You know, these are normal things that we do daily. When you buy, you require a change. When you want to buy, you require to calculate your change and all that. So it's the same practice, you know. And it just depends how we were taught mathematics in school. You know, we were intimidated, not really being taught. But I realized that mathematics is very simple when you get closer to it and use it to solve problems like what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in this data inside my Tableau. So I'll come to this small connect to data here, and I go to Microsoft Excel and I click. Once I click here, it shows my data. This is how I named it on my desktop. I'll just click this and then I click open, and then I give it some time to come into my Tableau. Okay, so it's coming in. So the data is right there. Remember, I told you that once we bring this data in, we'll find it in the data source. So it's right here in the data source here. So I'll just play around with my mouse, and it turns to this double head sword, and then I click down and then I drag it up here. And then, because I'm doing this because I want us to see the data clearly, okay? So right here, these are the 4 columns that we had in Excel. So Tableau has the power of bringing those columns inside of Tableau, okay? And right here, if we come here, we see that we have some field name here, and we have product name, quantity, cost, sales, the same thing that we have in our Excel file, okay? I can come right up here and I change the data source name from here. I can just put Hillary, okay? I can just put Hillary. This is good practice, so your data source has a name that you have designed. I can also come here and I change the name of the sheet right here, and I say rename, and then I just put Tableau 2. Okay, yes, Tableau 2. Perfect. You see now. So after having done that, if I come down here, you see that right here there are two things you're seeing. I want to show you here. You have one space is showing you a blue and the other one is showing you red. And there's a good practice. Each time you come to a data here, there are two things I would like to show you here. Here I can just total like this. Here is simply sorting from high to low, low to small, A to B, B to A to Z, Z to A. Are you getting now? So when I do this, you see what happens here. It changes. Okay, that is the use of this particular item here. But if I come here to this small item and I click and I go to describe data, remember we have to come here to create calculation fields to do our calculations. But before we do this, it's a good practice to describe the data, describe each column. So I'm going to click to this describe. When I click, let's give it some time and see what happens. You see, wow, it opens up here and it tells me that this particular product name, the role here is discrete dimension. Are you seeing now? And it's telling me that the status is valid, and it gives me other options here for me to see the data, and it says that the domain is chairs, desktop, internet, etc. These are the different products that we have on that column. Okay, and remember it says dimension. Why? When you see any text inside Tableau, it is grouped under dimension. If I come to these other figures here and I click and I say describe data and I also click, it opens up here and it says it's a continuous measure. Okay, when you see anything that is green here and indicative of this number sign, know that it is a measure. And it also says that this status is valid. Okay, and this is something it says we should load because it's number. When we load here, you see that it says that it's 40 to 400 domain. It means that it starts from 40, that's the lowest quantity here. It starts from 40 and then gets to 400. It means the highest value we have here is 400, the lowest value we have here is 40. Okay, so this is a good practice that you have to do each time you work with data as a data scientist, as a data analyst, or information manager in your organization. So right here now we want to start creating our measure. Remember we talked about total cost, total sales, and profit. So to start with, we'll come to this quantity. Remember we have to times this quantity with cost. We also times it with sales. So we'll come to this quantity and we click this small arrow here, not this one that is sorting, but this small black arrow, and we click this triangle, sorry, and then we come to create calculation field and we click. Wow, when we click now, right here we want to do something. We want to find out total sales. Are you getting now? So once we click here, it automatically opens this box and then we give the name of what we want to find out. It means we want to create a different column, and then I'm going to click this and I say total sales. Okay, total sales. Let's correct this. Okay, perfect. Okay, now my total sales, you see that once I click from quantity, it already opens up quantity here, and then Tableau is ready to see what I want to do, and it says this calculation is valid. Now since I want to times this quantity and this sales, what I'm going to do is I'll just come here and I click shift and 8 button, and then it provides me this times button here, and I open my bracket here. Once I open my bracket, I will just start writing sales. Make sure you spell it correctly because you want to match this column with this column, and you want to use the times sign, okay, which I've already put there, or the multiplication sign. So I'm going to start writing. Once you start writing, Tableau is able to pick this data because it already sends that you want to do something from this column and this column, and then you just choose that column automatically. You see that you are timesing this quantity and this sale to give you total sales. Are you seeing now? And then it says the calculation is valid. You check it here. If it's not valid, you are going to be seeing it here. It shows you here. Now I'm going to click OK. Once I click OK, you see that it says total sales. This is my total sales. It means this quantity times this sales gives us this total sales. I'll come again to the same quantity and I do the same thing. I go to calculated fields, and then now I want to put total cost. Total, sorry, what is happening here? Total cost. Okay, perfect. So we do the same again. Now we will just put we go to our shift 8 button, and then we open our bracket. Instead of coming to sales, we'll now come to cost, and then we start writing cost there. Once you start writing, it picks it up the same way it did with the other one, and then you just, it says valid, calculation valid, and then you put that okay, and then you find it here. And then here now we want to find total profit. Okay, so right here it's this total sales minus this total cost that will give us profit. So we're going to click here, starting with the sales, since we want to minus the cost from it, and then we come to calculated fields here, and then we see total profit. We just put profit. Okay, and then right here now, since this is the total sales, now we put minus instead of times. Now we put minus, and we open our bracket. And once we open our bracket here, you see that we start writing total cost. Are you seeing now? It just comes and picks it up, and then we choose. By default we choose there, and then it says this calculation is valid, and then we click OK. Perfect. You see, so now we have already done our calculations. You can do it you can do a lot of calculations within the Tableau before you start visualizing, and this is a very, very good practice. Okay, and right there you see what we have done here. If we just move one step from this data source to our sheet here, and we click here, okay, you see we are already in the platform of Tableau where we can start analyzing through visualizations. Okay, and while we are here, in order to really allow this really make sense to you, remember that we have created 3 fields. We have created total cost, total sales here, and then with profit. So I want us to check the profit against the quantity. So we are going to come here, but before I go there, I want to show you something here. So here you have the columns. So if I bring this total quantity to the columns here, you see that it appears here. You see now quantity, no, sorry, the product name. I want to check the product name. Sorry, the product's name here is important. We come here, up here we get the product name, we put it here. So these are all the names of the product, and I want to check the product name against the cost. Okay, so we want to see how much against the profit. Sorry, we want to see how much how much profit they are made. So you see here now that chairs are making this profit, desktop this profit, internet is making losses. You see that instead of going up to our graph, it's coming down below that 0 there. Are you seeing now? And then here you see that in demand and supply, those of you who did economics, you see that they always tell you that when it's on the line here, it's breaking even. When it's going down, it's losses. When it's going up, it's profit. So that's just a small common sense I just thought about right now. So right here you see that this is minus 30,000. This graph is coming down, it's showing you losses. And right here you see that microphone is giving you a whole lot of profit here. You see right now. And we can still do this in another way. If we want to check this profit according to colors, we want Tableau to show us the profit according to colors. We will take this profit and instead bring it in this space here, in this color space here. Once we bring it here, it shows us from up here. You see this small space up here, it shows us that this is a continuous way of looking at it. It shows that the bluer we go, the higher the profit, and the more, I don't know this color, the more pink or yellow we go, it is loses. Are you seeing now? Are you seeing now? This is something you must know. And then also again, we can come here and put the data labels on. If you see this small icon up here, this small icon, or if I click here, you see that you go, no, I want to show you something, this small plus, thank you, this small plus here. If I click here, you see that it brings the labels on. These are the labels, it brings them on. It brings them on here. Okay, and if I click that, it goes off. If I click this, it comes on. If I click that, it goes off. So it shows you the different levels and what is going on here in terms of profit and in terms of losses per the figures themselves. I can still come here again if I want to look at this based on just the sizes of the different visuals. I can still take my profit here and I bring it under size here. Now when I bring it other size here, it shows that the bigger the flesh of my visual, the higher the profit. The smaller the flesh, the lower the profit. Are you seeing now? You see this one is extremely small, this one too is small, and this one is big. So this is just how you can manipulate your data and come up with really a lot of insight from those data. And right here you see that here we have cost, profit, sales, and we are just doing it against the product name. Okay, and you must understand that in a company they might want to know which product is making losses, which is making profit, and they might want to know the different areas that this is happening. Maybe this data had other areas like locations. We'll also do that against the locations and see where this data is making profit. Okay, so I think this was what I had for you, and I hope that this is helping you and this is making you learn different techniques in Tableau. And we are going to be going further in other videos to show you how to use this as a visual and also how to use this as a storyline. Thank you very much and stay.
Thank you all so much for coming and watching our YouTube channel. Please, if you're watching this and you're a mother, you're a parent, you're an uncle, auntie, etc., share Nusemo Tech to secondary school children, to primary school children, to those in the university, because we have other tools like Excel, Power BI, Word document, PowerPoint. We are going to start with Publisher very soon. These are some of the skills that they need to learn moving forward. Okay. Any industry they go into, they don't, whether they like it or not, these are some of the skills that they will require in order to pull through those industries and be solution to those industries instead of liabilities. Okay, thank you all so much, and see you next time in another video.